Hello, and welcome to Point of View, where we give students a place to listen, learn, and lean in. We're your hosts, Jonah,
Ethan.
Logan.
And Caitlyn.
and today we'll be giving our 2024 predictions in movies, music, video games, and fashion. Starting with movies. So I'm going to start with the Oscars this year, which are in mid-March this year. I'm just going to go through a few of the big categories. So, Best Supporting Actress, I think Joy Randolph will win for The Holdovers. She won the Golden Globe for this, and I see no reason why she wouldn't win the Oscar as well. Same thing for the Best Supporting Actor category with Robert Downey Jr. winning for Oppenheimer. He won the Golden Globe this year, and I see no reason why he wouldn't win again. He gave one of the best performances of the year. Same exact thing for Best Director, Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer. I don't really think it's a surprise that he won the Golden Globe, and I would expect him to win again. Best International Film, Anatomy of a Fall. It picked up a very big upset against Oppenheimer at the Golden Globes by winning Best Screenplay, so it'll probably win Best International Film.
Do you have a non-Golden Globes opinion?
Non-Golden Globes
Non-Golden
opinion?
Globes opinion.
Well, everyone that I think will win an Oscar has won a Golden Globe.
Well, that's
because
fair.
they
That's
separate
fair.
the categories from drama and then comedy/musical.
Okay, gotcha.
But Emma Stone for Poor Things for Best Actress, she was ridiculously good. She's already won a Golden Globe before and an Oscar before, and I think she'll win again. Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer was the Best Actor. The other person that won Best Actor at the Golden Globes was Paul Giamatti, but Cillian Murphy, he just has too much momentum and just too much buzz about him. And Best Picture will probably be Oppenheimer, which I don't really think is that big of a surprise. So moving into...
No, I don't watch enough movies to have an opinion on this. I didn't even see Oppenheimer, man.
So...
Infuriated right now.
Moving into box office predictions, I'm just going to give 5 movies I think will do very, very well at the box office. Starting with Joker 2.
That's the thing?
Joker 2? Yeah, it's coming out, I think, October this year.
Damn.
Must be living under a rock because I did not hear about this at all.
Yeah, it was the first rated R movie to make $1 billion at the box office, so it'll probably make a lot. Despicable Me 4, I think will make a lot because even the last one made $500 million at the box office somehow, and yeah, it'll probably do pretty
Rue
well.
is never gonna die. They're just gonna keep
Dude,
churning
Illumination,
it out,
oh my, they milk the minions so much. They're in every one of their movies, dude.
Yeah.
Godzilla times Kong, New Empire is probably gonna make a lot just because it's a Godzilla Kong movie. It's probably not gonna be good, but it's Godzilla.
This is the first time I've disagreed. I think it's gonna not do very well. I don't know. People have expectations so high from the current Godzilla that when this one turns out to, I don't think it's gonna.
Godzilla minus one was so good, and this one's gonna fall flat. But Kung Fu Panda 4, I think will make a lot. It's the Kung Fu Panda franchise, and it's definitely gonna do very well overseas, like the past ones did. And then the last one I have, maybe topping the box office, is Dune Part 2, and it has and it was supposed to release last year, and it didn't, and that just has built up hype a lot for it this year. And then some disappointing movies that I think Despicable Me 4 is just going to be bad.
Wait, disappointing though implies that you expect it to be good, then it's bad, right?
Movies I think will be bad.
Right.
I have a question. Did you think Minions: The Rise of Gru was bad?
I didn't mind that, honestly. I thought it was funny and stupid. It was about what I expected, honestly. But Despicable Me 4 won't have as much minions, so it won't be as
I
good.
imagine just the panic in Jonah's mind being asked that question on open mic, knowing if he slanders it, people are going to his house.
Yeah. Godzilla times Kong is not going to be good. The entire MonsterVerse has such a problem with having good layered characters, and they just have none of those. And a movie that has that is Godzilla minus one. So I'd recommend seeing that if you want to have a great Godzilla movie, along with some great characters. Inside Out 2 is releasing in 2024. I don't think it's going to be bad, but there's no way it lives up to Inside Out.
I don't know about that. I have faith.
I think it's gonna be really good.
I have faith in it, but Inside Out is just so good. I don't really know how they'll be able to top that.
If it turns out that this one is disappointing, I'll owe you because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be I have faith. I believe. Who makes it again? Who's making it?
Pixar.
Yeah, I believe.
Or Pixar/Disney, I think.
Yeah.
Some movies I think will just be surprising and turn out to be really big movies. One called Alto Nights that you guys probably haven't heard of. It stars Robert De Niro in a dual role, and he's playing 2 mafia bosses. And De Niro playing mafia bosses is known to be... Yeah. I'm surprised no one's really talked about it at all, but it's Robert De Niro playing a mafia boss, and it's probably going to be pretty good. And then one more, The Bike Riders. You guys might have heard it was going to release November, and it picked up a ton of like smaller awards at film festivals, but it was pushed back to August of next year. And it follows like a motorcycle club starring Austin Butler. So it seems pretty interesting. I think it'll do pretty well.
Nice.
That's all I have for movies.
Well, that was our resident movie expert. I don't really have any commentary on that. It was just kind of predictions. I want to see if they turn out right, because if they don't, I can hold that over your head forever. But
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of movie opinions. I don't have much I can add.
You should watch more movies.
Yeah, I could watch more movies.
Half the movies you were talking about like with the awards, I've only seen Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer's good.
I haven't
As long as
even
you've
seen
seen
that.
Oppenheimer.
I haven't seen any of them.
I haven't seen a single movie. Well, from our resident movie expert, we're going to go to our resident music expert, Caitlyn. What do you think happens in 2024?
So I think so SZA announced that she was going to drop another album called Lana, and she hasn't given out a date, I don't think, but just because of how the internet is, I think she'll drop it. And then because SZA is such a like big artist, and her past works have been so successful, people will be like hypercritical, and they'll like completely bash it when it first comes out, and then like the internet does, a couple months later they'll change their minds. Yo, I thought it was actually really good. Everyone was hating on it, but I really liked it. Da, 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 da. And then it'll do really well.
Yeah, it's always people either hating on something, then loving it, or loving it, and then saying, hey guys, we need to talk about how bad this movie is, or how bad this song is, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And then Brent Faiyaz, he released an album, Larger Than Life, I think last month or November.
Yeah,
late
it
November.
wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, it was pretty recent.
And then, so with Wastelands, his last album, he went on tour, but he did not come to Atlanta. I think he'll come to Atlanta this time.
And you're just saying that because you want to...
He should, because I like follow him on Instagram. He's always in Atlanta. I'm like, why did you not? Okay. I think Summer Walker will end up dropping another album. Frank Ocean,
Frank Ocean needs to drop.
I think he'll announce an album, but I don't know if he'll drop it in
That's a
2024.
prediction and a half there, huh?
Yeah, because like, I don't know, when people get excited about Frank Ocean, sometimes it doesn't work out. Like with the Coachella thing, like people were so excited that he was like performing again somewhere so mainstream, and then he like,
you gotta feel bad for him, but
I think Bryson Tiller, when he drops, I think it's gonna flop.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll be good, just because I feel like he's been out for so long that I think it'll take a little bit for him to get back into it. And then there's like this trend of like kind of like, actually no, like with other types, like other genres coming into Afrobeats, like rappers doing Afrobeats and like more like pop singers doing Afrobeats. I think Morgan Wallen is gonna be on an Afrobeat song this year. It'll probably do well.
Right.
And that is all my music.
Okay, do you think the Kanye album comes out this year? Do you think it actually comes out?
Maybe.
It's such a maybe.
That was like, oh yeah, I apologize. I let you guys sit with it for a little bit, and here's my next album.
Man, I can't believe it.
It could either be like 2 weeks from now or like never release. You have no idea.
Because it was supposed to come out like
Last year,
Yeah.
late last year, and then it was delayed, and then it's delayed again. I don't know.
Delayed like the apology.
He'll probably drop some merch too.
Yeah.
I think the album's gonna be low quality. That's my
I would
big
agree
music thing.
if it ever does release.
Because his last album was not good.
I'm not a fan of the direction he's going in.
Okay, moving on to Logan with video games.
Oh yeah.
What are your thoughts on 2024?
So I think as a whole, 2024 is going to be a mix of a really good year for video games and a really bad year for video games. And without getting too doom and gloomy, I think there's going to be a bit of an economic downturn this year just because of the way things are going. And because of that, when that stuff happens, the first thing people cut out is like video games. It's the non-essentials. It's the, instead of like not buying food this month, maybe I don't buy the $70 game again this month. And I think that's going to be a trend you start to see this year as it goes further on and the economy dips lower. But for specific things, so Hollow Knight Silksong is an indie darling game that was announced 5 years ago just about. It's a follow-up to one of the most successful indie games of all time. And since 5 years ago, it has been delayed for 5 years. And I think this is the year it finally comes out. And I know that's like this will be the year for sure, but I am convinced this is the year it'll come out.
I agree. I think there's just no way there's another year because there's no way. There's just no way.
I think it's because last year they were supposed to come out last year because they were part of this whole Xbox thing about games coming out this year, right? And Hollow Knight Silksong was there, and then it didn't come out. So I think that shows they're at least ready enough to consider announcing a date. And if they're at that point, I think we can give them this year and it'll come out.
Yeah.
Past that, I think February as a whole is going to be probably the best month for gaming. There's a lot of strong releases. There's going to be some announcements coming out. And just in general, I think February is going to be a great month for gaming. I also think this year is probably going to be the year of Xbox. Xbox is going to release a lot of strong exclusives because they bought Activision Blizzard, this really big development thing that they own, like Call of Duty. They have all of these really big licenses. I think this is the year that Xbox really pushes the whole narrative of PlayStation being the exclusives console away. And then I also have on top of that Game Pass, which is their thing where you can pay a certain amount of money and get a bunch of games for free every month. I think that's going to start finally getting an increase in hype because the competition is next to nowhere anymore.
Yeah, they need some exclusives to compete with PlayStation.
I think the Nintendo Switch 2 is at the very least announced this year. I think it comes out this year, but to be conservative, I think it is at least announced this year. There's been so much speculation. I think there's not a new, sticking on the topic of Nintendo, I don't think there's a new Smash game or a new Mario game, but there will be a new Zelda game and a new Pokemon game. It's kind of Nintendo predictions, right? I think there's another Call of Duty game, but it's exactly as Call of Duty as the last one.
Not great.
Terrible campaign.
Awful. I think it's going to be, I think there's a new Call of Duty. I think it's a bad Call of Duty. I think this is going to be a really solid year for fighting games. Fighting games have slowly been creeping their way into mainstream as of last year, and with a lot of really good announcements slated for the next 6 months, I think this might be the year that fighting games kind of go nuclear. I think, and this is one of my two kind of more out there guesses, I think nostalgia gaming advertisement finally starts up for the millennial Gen Zs. We've been like flirting with it over the past few years, but I think this is the year people double down with it, especially because gaming companies need a way to get more sales right now. And then, this is kind of my, not silly, but this is my really out there prediction. So as gaming adaptations have become more common, movies, shows, I think there's a lot of that this year. And I think specifically there is at least one really awful like video game rap used as a promotion, either by Call of Duty or Nintendo. I think that's going to happen this year. I don't know what.
I think there's going to be so many adaptations. There's at least going to be 2 gems in there that do it really well.
I think you're an optimist. I think it's going to be a lot of them. I don't think many of them are going to be very good.
I think a few can be have good potential.
But past that, that's all of the specific predictions I have for this year. Do y'all have any comments, any questions, anything? Cool.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
Kind of hit all the categories.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And then that leaves us with Ethan, our resident fashion expert. Ethan, what do you think of fashion trends for 2024?
So like I'm kind of going off the stuff that I started seeing like early December and like moving into like this year. I feel like we're gonna start moving away from like the Jordan brand like as a whole. I know that's kind of like really like out there.
Yeah, it's a wild one.
Like we're not going to be moving away from Nike because I feel like we're going to start going towards like the like old man runner like running type shoes that people wear. Like the Nike P6000, I've seen a lot of people wearing it. I've heard that it's comfortable, but it has like this sort of like old running shoe styling, like early 2000s running shoe. Like, and just like with also the prices of the Gel Kayano 14 from Asics also going up, and you can kind of see the trend in like also resale value,
right?
Especially with the collabs too. So I feel like we're gonna start moving away from like the Jordan 1, 2, 4, and all of these, and start moving into more of like the running shoe category of the early 2000s.
All that means is I get a fancy Jordan for cheaper this year. If you're right.
Yeah, you can see the prices of like Jordan 1s, not like the hype collabs like Off-White or anything, but like the regular colorways, they're actually starting to go down too. So. Good year for Jordans if you want to buy them.
Right.
Not a great year for early 2000s running shoes.
Okay.
But that's just what people have been wearing, I've seen. And with that, I feel like we can go into like the early 2000s. We're going to start moving towards clothing too, like away from like the really tight jeans, tight shirts, and start moving into like more of the early Y2K styling, like baggy jeans, more layers other than just like a t-shirt or just a hoodie. We're gonna start actually like layering outfits, so you'll see like people wearing hoodies and like maybe like an overcoat on that. So I feel like just like in general, we're gonna start moving towards like more of a like layered outfit type look and more baggy clothing as well.
Okay, that's a good hype. I mean, I've been on that since like I was 7. Since I don't like, I mean, so if I get to pretend that I'm being trendy, I'm down for it.
And then just like that's just my general predictions. Like there's not really much going on. That was kind of like my big thing for this year.
Okay.
We're gonna start moving away from Jordan Brand as a whole.
Right. You can't really do safe, vague predictions for fashion, can
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I can just say, oh, Xbox sells Xboxes. You can't really say, yeah, I get it. I'm trying to think if I have any comments on that. I don't know very much about fashion.
Neither do
Another
I.
thing, I feel like these like brick and mortar retail stores for like hype sneakers are gonna start like going away because like I've seen them open up and there's literally no one in the store.
I hate those stores.
No,
so
exactly.
much. Literally, you pick up a shoe, I like turn it around, $600. I'm like, actually, who's keeping you in business? Like,
Okay,
actually,
that's crazy.
who's buying from you guys?
Like the markup is genuinely ludicrous on that kind of stuff. Like,
If the shoes have plastic on it, walk out of the store.
well, I think our final portion.
Let me finish. That.
Oh, I thought you said that was all you had.
Yeah, I
I'm
said
so
like
sorry.
general predictions, and then I like, just thought about this like sneaker store thing, and that
Okay,
reminds me.
okay. Let's go.
So I've been to 4 different like versions of these stores because I just go in the mall and I see them opening up at the mall. I'm like, sweet, a place where I can actually go and get some like hype quote unquote sneakers without having to wait for the package to come in the mail. And I walk in, I'm like, ooh, Powerpuff Girl dunks that just dropped. They're like 300 on StockX. I like 1,200. I'm like, dang. And it's like, how? And I see
That's
people like
absurd.
cashing out at the register, and it's like, what is this convenience fee that you like?
Right, the 400% markup is for the ability to put it on and the ability to look at it.
Yeah.
And that's 400%.
I feel like those stores solely exist so you know what the shoe looks like in person, and you just open up your phone and you buy it.
It's like the Barnes and Noble
Yeah.
of
It's literally impossible to buy like popular shoes
yeah.
in person now.
Yeah.
Like if you go to like a regular shoe store, like what are they called? Like
Foot Locker?
Champs and Foot Locker and stuff. Like they have shoes, but like
Not the good ones.
Yeah, like
They're just shoes.
Yeah.
Like, there's not much going on for
It's the
folks.
the
shoes no
day
one
you
talks about.
stopped being able to find Jordans in store
Right.
was
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah.
And I feel
One
like
of these days, resellers are gonna get.
yeah, I feel like fashion is a bit of an exception to the rule of like physical stores going out of business and Amazon kind of taking over because fashion you have to see what you're gonna buy
Yeah.
to know it and you have to like try it on and stuff.
And the very long waiting queues to get in the line to see if you might be able to secure one item at checkout is just not like.
Well,
Like, for me, it's like just wishful thinking that we're gonna get away from the queue, but I know it's not gonna happen.
right. Okay, that's the if it happens, it happens.
Yeah,
prediction.
well, that's all I got.
Okay, well, from there, all we have left is just this little small section where we wanted to make general predictions because we all had little predictions here or there that don't really fit into the mold of what we
Yeah.
were doing. So, Caitlyn, I believe you had some stuff about celebrities.
Yes. Firstly, I think Gypsy Rose will either get pregnant or experience some type of controversy in which the public might turn on her. I feel like she wouldn't do anything. I think it might be like a loved one or a husband, her husband, that she might like defend if he says something. I mean, he seems nice, but
Yeah, that's a wild prediction. I mean, if it comes
just big
true,
news with Gypsy.
Okay, if it comes true, no one can say that's a you exclusive prediction.
Yeah, I can see it because I don't know. Every time she talks about her husband, it's like my man, my man, my man. It's like, would you defend him till the end of the earth? Because that's where some people get caught
Okay.
up.
Well, okay. Anything else?
I think 50 Cent is gonna release the Surviving Diddy documentary.
Yeah, it's 50 Cent. If it's money, he'll do it. No? And then
I have a lot more. But
Oh.
I don't know if I should. Say all of them.
or maybe like pick out one or two more.
Okay. I think this is a really random one, but because Stanley Cups are trending right now, I feel like in a couple months, people are going to turn around and they're going to be like, Stanley Cups are so inconvenient because they're so big and bulky, and like, who's actually gonna drink that much water in a
Right.
day, who's actually filling up. Because I have a friend who has a Stanley. She fills up her Stanley like halfway because you have to sit there and wait 5 minutes for it to fill up. And I know she's not drinking the whole thing. So I think people are going to be like, oh my gosh, like, why did we even buy that? You guys, that was so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't even worth it. And then I think Will Smith will try to embarrass Jada like Jada embarrassed Will Smith.
Mm.
I think he's finally going to retaliate.
Okay, it's been brewing all year.
I think one day, I think he's just sitting on a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
And one day it's going to like...
I can see it. For me, I have nothing. So the election is this year, right? 2024 is the election. I'm not about to go on a school publication and say who I think will win or who should win, but I know this is going to be the most chaotic and borderline insane election cycle yet. If last year is any indication, this is going to be stupid. And
I'm
that's
waiting for the presidential debate.
The presidential debate
hilarious.
is
It's just going to be a
disgrace.
comedy
It's-
show.
Exactly.
It's going to be
that's
so funny.
awful, and that's awful
It's
for
so
our nation's
bad that it's
future.
a comedy show, but it's going to be fun.
And then from there, I said it briefly in the gaming section. I think this is not a good year for the economy. Unless things, and I don't want to be a downer, unless things change in a pretty drastic way, we're going down a little, at least a little. So save your money if you can. And then from there, I think AI gets even more stupid this year. I have no bias. It's not like I totally hate AI. I do. I hate AI, but unbiased, trust me, totally unbiased. I think AI gets even more ludicrous and unable to. I think something, and I think this is just my wishful brain. I think regulation has to happen this year for AI. That's what I think.
Yeah, there was a little bit for like movies. They got a good deal that AI wouldn't be used there, but otherwhere it's just like
I think
free.
at a government level we
Yeah.
start getting regulation.
Yeah.
That's all I have though. Generally.
Well, I also think for regulations, I feel like we're going to start regulating cars and automobiles more heavily. I feel like a lot of more electric vehicles are going to be releasing this year because almost all brands killed off all of their performance cars. So, yeah, that's going to be a sad year for automotive enthusiasts. But I feel like we might get some good electric car releases. I'm hopeful about that. And
It's just like a transitory period. You're gonna get electric power cars eventually.
Yeah. And I also feel like we're going to start developing more like electric car tech, like maybe like better rechargeable batteries and like faster charging.
Like
I feel
the year of the electric car. You're saying?
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a good year for electric
That's
cars.
nice.
Yeah, I just have one. I think DVDs as a whole are going to. They've been on the decline for a while with the rise of streaming services, but I think they're going to absolutely plummet this year, especially your talk about the economy dwindling a little bit. People aren't going to be, they're going to want to stay home, and I think streaming services are perfect for that. And this isn't really a prediction, it's just a fact. We're going to have another very hot summer this year.
And we're going to cook.
Yeah,
Global warming is global warming.
Yeah.
Climate change is climate change.
going to be very hot, as expected.
But even if we seem, I think it's going to be a good year, though. I think good things are going to happen. Interesting things are going to happen. We are living in the prime of our lives, right? Times are changing around us, and we're going to have a good time, hopefully.
I feel like we're definitely going to be like overall happier this year.
Yeah, hopefully.
Because like we finally made it out of the absolute hell that was like 2020 to 2023. So I feel like we're going up, the economy's going down. So
And this is absolutely not
but the
wishful
economy-
thinking at all. You have to believe us. We know what we're talking about. We are a bunch of high schoolers. I think that's about all. Jonah, do you want to take us away?
Yep, okay. This concludes this episode of Point of View. Thank you so much for listening. For a transcript of this episode, head to the Point of View tab on our website, nhsmessenger.org, and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at NHS Point of View for updates and new episodes. I'm your host, Jonah,
Ethan.
Logan.
And Caitlyn.
and this has been Point of View.